Well, howdy, gas burn viewers. Here we have another home job. In this case, we're looking at a 2006 Honda Odyssey. I've got brakes that really need to be done. And as you can see, I have really gotten as much life out of these as I can. I think these brakes probably made it 50, 60,000 miles. The car now has over 220,000 miles, and I haven't done brakes in probably 8 or 9 years. I don't drive the car that much, but my inspection sticker is expired, so I had to do this job. Couple of things to note. I did go with the genuine Honda stuff. If you walk into your dealership, they're probably going to charge you about a 40% premium over if you go to a website like a Honda OEM parts online. There's a bunch of them. Pick the one that you like. You have to pay shipping, of course, but I got these rotors for about $110, and I think dealership was looking for about 160 or 170. So I have to do all 4 corners today. I just finished the first one. So just wanted to talk quickly about the setup. So as I already mentioned, get the Honda OEM parts. I do have quick jacks, but I don't have time to do all 4 corners today. So I just jacked it up. Make sure you use a little bit of support there. Where'd my light go? On the rear, I was actually impressed with how easily these retainer bolts came out. Where are they? Here. How easily they came out. I did spray a little bit of this deep creep. I think it probably helped, but I only let it sit for about 10 minutes and they popped right out. The bolt in the back is, I think is a 17? Yeah, here we go. 17 millimeter to get the caliper off. There are 2 bolts, one sitting here and one just a little bit below it, down here. I just used a short wrench to loosen those up. Again, I sprayed a little bit of that deep creep on it, and it probably helped, but it actually wasn't really that bad. So they came straight out. I had to undo them by hand. I couldn't get my my DeWalt out there. So the biggest part of the job was spreading the caliper jaws, because as I said, it's been about 10 years, so the sliders are a little stuck. Fortunately, I have one of these awesome tools from Gyrodisc. I know they're super expensive. You can probably just use one of the smaller ones you can get on Amazon, but God, if you have a friend from whom you can borrow this, set this up on the smallest setting, and then you are gonna need all the leverage that you can get. Putting things back together, the pads were a little bit of a pain in the butt to do. You have to do the inside one first. It's got a little bit of a clip on it, a small clip on it, and then putting the other one on was also difficult because it has it's got these anti-rattle clips, and so you have to position the pads just right. That was probably the most frustrating part of the job. Probably took me 10 minutes to put them on. And then I still didn't have the jaw itself. The slider was pushed in too much, so I used this long screwdriver to align it between the pads, and then just again use my leverage to push the jaws out so they would align, so I could actually put the caliper back on. 41 foot-pounds of torque for these 2 bolts on the 2006 Odyssey, and that's pretty much it. This little piece here, I'm not sure what this is, but this is just a plastic piece. This is the OEM one from the other rotor. You can just pop that out, push it through with a screwdriver, and then put it back on. And then, of course, if you haven't done a brake fluid change in a while, which I haven't, make sure that you do that. This was a 10 millimeter. So get yourself a 10 millimeter wrench and change the fluid. The other cars that I have, I have an attachment that that I use to actually pressure let's see, what's the best way to put it. It's a pressurized container that seals, that sits right on top of the brake fluid reservoir, and you just pressurize it and it pushes the fluid out. However, for the Honda, it's a slightly different system, so I can't use it, so I had to do it by hand, or better said, by foot. So if you open the reservoir and you go inside the car, you just sit here and just press the brake about 10 times slowly, and don't depress it all the way. That can damage the seal. So go about halfway through the motion on the brake fluid. Do about 10, no more, and then you need to come back here and then just, again, I'm using the Honda brake fluid, and then just pour a little bit of fluid in here. Initially, when this thing was full, I spilled a little bit, so put some rags underneath that, but this is key. Make sure you're not introducing any air bubbles into the system, because that's gonna give you a soft pedal. So make sure this is always filled up. You'll have about 10 presses with the pedal. That empties it out to about what you see now. And then you just make sure that you refill it. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward job. Unfortunately, none of the bolts were stuck, which is what I was worried about. So, corner one is done. And then as I'm doing the other corners, I'll do another video to actually show what I've done in order to fit the brake pads into the caliper, because that's definitely painful. So anyway, hope this is helpful, and see you in another video.